All we need is a little bit of music.
That which he desire, be it a lord, be it a god. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken.
What are you talking about? Thank you for that. I learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes when you see someone just walk up to you and like they want to strike a conversation, you think, what's the worst that can happen? Let's like indulge this conversation, see where it leads you. And as soon as the person starts to speak about furry porn, you realize I've made a grave mistake. But then you're cornered. Calm down. You know that kid that wanted to stab gamers in high school in Lisbon? I did not. There was a huge coverage on the news. Boy. I work in a newspaper, but if I don't do an infographic about a specific topic, I don't know anything in the world. The kid that wanted to stab the shit out of his classmates in Polytechnic Lisboa in Lisbon. That is not a news I'd expect to hear from Portugal. Did he do it? Did he stab anyone? Or did he just say he wanted to? Because sometimes I too want to stab a motherfucker. That doesn't mean I do. A while ago too. Oh, it was I never heard of it. Did the dude actually stab someone? Or did he just say he wanted to? He had it all planned. Well, sometimes a motherfucker indulges on the thoughts of maybe, you know, stabbing a bitch. Doesn't mean he's gonna do it. Jesus, just let him think. That's creative writing, if anything. Now, I mean, he purchased like 5 machetes and some crossbow. Where the fuck do you buy You know, way to go, Portugal. Way to go. Like, if he were in the States, he would have bought a gun. In Portugal, you know what? Machetes and a fucking crossbow. I died. 5 machetes. Did you realize he only had 2 hands? Sometimes you just need to reload a machete. What you don't realize is that he was using the machetes to reload the crossbow. He didn't have bolts, so he just placed the machete on the crossbow and like, this will do. Sometimes you want to kill someone with a machete, but he's too far away, so you get a crossbow and you shoot the machete all the way over there. The guy's a genius. You're saying he's an amateur? I think he's a visionary. I love that kid. You see, that's the sort of shit, like the Americans are lazy. Or the statesman, as Joel says. Those guys just wanna get the big gun or didn't shoot people. That's lazy. That's lazy talk. Us Portuguese get machetes and fucking crossbows. You wanna get petroleum gel, that makes proper Molotovs. Oof, God, you just went up a whole level. Like, we were talking about having fun with machetes and crossbows, and King of Pain just went into war crime territory. Listen, I'm all down to using machetes in a public place. Molotov cocktails is going too far. Anyway, I had a whole conversation with my friend because he kept defending him. Okay, now I have to stop this. I'm joking. I'm not defending the kid. He's an idiot, a fucking monster. Sometimes I have to be overly clear. Why was your friend defending him? Who would defend him? He kind of made a point. His friend was being a total bitch. Sometimes the only way to deal with bitches was with a machete and a crossbow. How did he defend him? What is there to defend? It was like, oh, it's a mental illness sort of thing that he needs help. I know, he said he was sorry for him because he was mentally fucked. Okay, that's different, right? Obviously the dude had mental issues. Maybe he even had family issues. That like there was the reason why he was that level of deranged clearly is either because of his mind or his happenstance. So you can feel bad for that. If you plans around to go killing people, you can't just indulge it and say, oh, he just needs help. It's a cry for help. Sometimes you have to stop him first and acknowledge that whatever he went through doesn't happen to someone else. That was the entire argument. And I was like, he was gonna kill 10 kids, but it's not his fault, he's crazy. Nah, it is his fault. Even if he is crazy, just because you have some sort of debilitation doesn't mean that you are excused of your sins, let's say. Like, you can give him help better. Like, you might not just throw him into prison. You might give him some actual help to see if he gets the support and attention that he needs. Sure. But the way you approach it is obviously you have to take that person out of society and learn what made him into that so that you can probably save the next person from becoming mentally unstable. So I've been mentally fucked up for 41 years and never hurt people, and I left alive to testify. Yeah, there's different levels of... I understand that you're being funny, King of Pain, like it's just saying that we're all a bit fucked up in the head, and sometimes you really just want to stab a bitch. Like I was joking earlier, but there are people who are mentally ill, mentally sick, and that they see human suffering as a way to gain control or gain power. I went to court for almost unaliving someone. I suppose it's because he didn't do it because he just woke up one day and said, you know what? I think I'm gonna try and beat some bitch up. He was a rapist. You see, that's a sort of vigilante thing. You probably went to court because you acted vigilante justice. There was a man who was a rapist, and you beat the shit out of him, where he almost died. And you went to court, and you should have gone to court because it's not up to you to decide other people's justice, even if he is a rapist. But again, that's the sort of beating people up that if you tell me that, I'm like, good, well done, King of Pain. Like, the whole public discourse will be in favor of you. But legally, I don't want people to take justice into their own hands, because that story could easily gone. I beat a dude because he was a rapist, and then it turns out after you've killed him, oh, actually he was never a rapist. That was just a person that wanted to make him seem like he was a rapist, just to get it back at him or something. Yeah, you gotta slap on the wrist because he probably was a real rapist. But it's so often hands that you take justice into your own hands. You go up and, oh, he's a rapist, so I'll kill him. And I kill a rapist, so yeah, we don't miss anything. We're not missing any contributing member to society. And then it turns out, oh, people just called him a racist because they were trying to be funny or as a prank or whatever. And then the person died because of it. So it always pays to not go aggro or to take justice in your own hands. But, you know, that's like you're saying, gotta slap on the wrist, and no one is ever gonna look badly at you, King of Pain, for almost beating the shit out of the rapists, pedophiles, or what's the other thing? Domestic abusers. Nah, this was way beyond the prank. No, for sure, no. I'm just saying that I don't advocate vigilante justice. I don't want to applaud people for beating the shit out of rapists, because that's what the justice system is for. Either way, the whole coverage of the news was hilarious. They called up a social media expert to explain what was going on, because apparently they claimed he was in the dark web. The dark web. The dark web was fucking Discord. Yeah. That's sensationalism, isn't it? He fucking said you can't get into Discord by usual means. You need a special secret browser for it. He got into the dark web. He got into the 4chan territories. MRIC is more dark web than Discord. Listen, Grandma, okay, I won't join Discord. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll keep away from the dark web. Yeah, those sort of news coverages are always meant to sensationalize the internet to scare away the boomers, like the people that don't understand how the internet works. That child was a perfectly innocent young boy until the day he got into Call of Duty. Then he became a monster. He started using the N-word and killing people with abandon, and suddenly the thirst for blood only deepened. He played Arma once, and you don't know, but in that game, if you pick up a weapon, it manifests itself in real life. They just mail it to you. That is the power of the internet. Run and hide. Save your children. In that game, if you shoot a player, they actually send a hit squad to his house, so he also dies in real life. Woo! Yeah, my mother's like 50 years old, so she's not exactly old. She's old enough to understand, like, technology. But she's always been, like, very daft at it. Not daft, she's been very inept at it. She was also very technologically... She's a technological idiot. Like, anything that has electronics in it, she immediately just panics. The only thing she ever was good at was Tetris. So this is the sort of generation, and it's part of the reason why, like, a long time ago I had this conversation about the internet is going through its puberty stage, where the people that never use the internet, that don't understand the dangers of modern technology, are starting to take it for granted because they don't understand it. Like, ignorance is starting to affect the world. We're talking about people that don't understand that things that are on Facebook aren't fact, that Wikipedia isn't a source for information that is 100% reliable, that Twitter, just because someone said, well, a friend of mine was there during the moon landing recording, so he knows it's fake, and go, see, this is proof. But what I was trying to say is, yeah, my mother, 50 years old, she would believe those stories. You say that in Discord is a dark web, she'd go, oh, you don't... Yeah, she would call me, son, you're not using the Discord, are you? Have you heard this thing called let me see if I can pronounce it correctly. Atuetach. I think this is a place where they can convene for satanic rituals. I've seen it, where images come to real life. Wait, you're using the red it? And yeah, that's like my mother, there's millions of people who, even though they were there during the initial stages of the internet, like they weren't like me and my brother or like Alex who got into the internet culture and learned like all its beauty, like the great uses of the internet and such a powerful tool that it is, but also how sinister it can be, like how people can easily use it for exploits, for scams, for whatever. Like the internet, even like 20 years ago in the early 2000s, the internet was a vastly different place that was majorly used just to scam people out of their money, but also had so much potential in it. So we learned how to navigate it. You know, some people just never did, and they're having that experience today. Like people assume that like the things you put on the internet, because it's so easy, that it doesn't have long-lasting effects somehow. Like like for example, if you say your address online, what's the worst that could happen? And then you have people swat you, or you have people like send spam mail, or just using your phone number on very dodgy websites, whatever. And that's why I'm saying that the internet right now is going through its puberty stages, because those people who 20 years ago didn't understand the internet, they're now having children, and the children are also using the internet like without understanding its dangers. Like it's very easy to go around saying my 15-year-old daughter, like she grew up with the internet. She knows about it. She knows how to use the internet. She used the TikToks and the Reddits, but they don't have the sensibilities to know that everything that you put on the internet stays forever. So it is very easy for someone to put a really dumb opinion or a video that will come back to haunt you later, or to speak with someone who turns out to be a massive pedophile, or just like share your credit card information of your parents or something. And all those people believe in horrendous news that is lies, like conspiracies and shit. Like just because you're 15 and you're used to your whole environment is around the internet doesn't mean that you're used to creating that information and using it for good. Like you're still a victim of preying, you can still be a prey to attacks. So we are in a generation where the older people believe everything in the internet, and the younger people are blindly putting everything in online because they don't see it as a threat. I feel like that both those people are going to learn eventually. They're going to go through puberty and realize, oh boy, I should not have done that, or oh boy, I can't believe I did that. Alex said in 10-20 years we won't have these problems. I don't think we'll have these problems specifically, but probably we'll have something else. The internet will morph into something entirely different, and I don't know, I can't even predict it. So yeah, I'm a huge I love the internet. I'm a huge apologist for it. I believe that the future is on the freedom of knowledge being free, and the sharing of it amongst peers. Of not enough putting paywalls above progress. So the internet to me is a wonderful, magical place that should forever be like, it's the future of civilization in my opinion. I genuinely believe that. However, I'll also admit that the internet is dangerous, and people should learn all its beauties and all its dangers. You're a bit of a tough bloke, aren't you? Let's fight. I loved your Harlem Shake dance. That was beautiful. Do that on my penis. Please.